Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the weekly prediction of the NFP. I said weekly. No. Welcome to the NFP prediction, a quick review on why my prediction on NFP. So let's get into it, man. And as I said before, it will be nice for you to watch our weekly focus that I did on Monday. If you can watch that, you'll have an idea why I'm bearish for the dollar. But in general, I'm bearish for the dollar. But today, I'm recording this on the 2nd of July. That's 9 p.m. South African time. So I'm just gonna go on to my prediction, man. I'm gonna go straight to my prediction of NFP, and I'm gonna look at numbers on the NFP story. So let's look at the actual numbers. Let's not do prediction. You know that I'm bearish. I'll come to the technicals immediately when I'm done with the predictions. So, I mean, when I'm done to explain the macroeconomics. So let's go straight into fundamentals, man. I love fundamentals. Let's get into it. So, as I've been saying before, the H finder is giving me you look at COT data, retail sales seasonality trend, GDP, and the rest to give a scoring and give a bias. And for now, we are Europe USD bullish, NZ USD bullish, and the rest. Because I'm talking about NFP, I'm just gonna focus on the dollar. So those are the one. And if you look at the bearish side, you look at let me just quickly do this. I'm gonna remove the neutral. Mm. So if you look at on the bearish side, we have USDCHF is bearish, USD CAD is bearish, USDJPY is bearish. All we are starting to be bearish as well. But I don't mind about those parts of the world. And I should say, this bearishness of the dollar, the rand has gained a lot of strength. Big up to us in South Africa. We are almost trading at 17 rand now. I think just below 17 rand. But anyway, USDCHF, USD CAD, they are also bearish. But let's go to the macroeconomics. And today there was major important news here in the jobs data. Worrying in terms of the economy, but it's good news for those that are looking for rate cuts. People that are looking into going into the bond market. This is looking good for them, I should say. But anyway, ADP numbers we saw at 33,000 minus 33,000. This it's a minus number that we get for the first time in the longest time. Let's see if we have gotten a minus number before. Um, not today, man. Fixed. Yeah, it's fine. 1st of July 2024. It doesn't allow me to. Okay, yeah, perfect. But anyway, so from 2024, so okay, this is almost 2 years of data. We never gotten a negative ADP NFP number. This is extremely bad. This is extremely bad for the dollar currency in general and for the US economy. But good news for the risk on asset like your indices. So we are likely gonna move into risk on asset. And then because tomorrow we have NFP looking at ADP NFP, looking at that number, and then you come for tomorrow. Tomorrow we have NFP, and the NFP numbers, we are likely gonna get very low numbers around the range of below 50,000, given how the ADP numbers looked. So if we get anything below 50,000, I'll truly think that we are gonna definitely get rate cuts. I think tomorrow's NFP numbers, the way it's so important, it's important to a point that it might determine where our next rate cuts are coming, when the next rate cuts are coming. But let's look at the forecast. This after today's ADP numbers, you'll think, hey man, we are likely gonna get lower NFP numbers. We're gonna very get cool NFP numbers. You look at that, and also the amount of ADP numbers you saw it's a minus 33,000. You are likely gonna get higher interest rate. Average earnings might drop. So it's basically it's an overall bearish currency in terms of NFP numbers. when you look at the macroeconomics and just purely focusing on NFP and CPI or inflation. And inflation is at 2.4. And Powell yesterday spoke about that tariffs are a problem that he's delaying rate cuts. However, jobs data might force him to cut rates. Let's get into it, man. So look at unemployment rate might increase to 4.3%. Look at NFP numbers might go down to 111,000. But it's still a very low number, still an extremely very low number. And you look at average hourly earnings, it's also at 0.3%, has decreased hourly earnings. They're forecasting very low numbers in terms of jobs data. And these jobs data, trust me when I say this jobs data might result in for the Fed to cut interest rates tomorrow. And that alone is very important for our story. And I did explain that the NFP numbers already have a forecast and we know where we are going. So the jobs data in general is going to determine where we are going in terms of interest rate. And if we get lower interest rate, we are likely going to get rate cuts. I know it's a boring conversation that I'm having right now, but if you look at CPI now, CPI is stable at 2.4, 2.3%, close to 2% target. And remember, always CPI needs to be close to 2% as our target. Our target is 2%. So now we are at 2.3, 2.4%. And I want to believe, this is not something that I know, but I want to believe the reason why we didn't get rate cuts is the tariffs, as Powell said yesterday in the ECB thing. You said it's possible that tariffs are the one that are delaying rate cuts. And then if they're delaying rate cuts now, but I also believe that jobs data as well is the one that is also delaying us rate cuts in this instance. But now the jobs data, it looks like it's about to get out of hand after today's ADP numbers of where is this jobs data? Economic growth. Where's jobs data? Yeah, labor data. After today's ADP numbers minus 33,000, the economic growth, we have been seeing that there is a very good slowdown in the economy. When you look at GDP growth, it's at minus 0.5% for the first quarter. And I mean, for the first quarter, was at minus 0.2%. Right now, it came out as another minus 0.5%. You look at retail said we are at minus 0.9%. So that alone, you look at all these things and you say, okay, inflation, there's a slowdown in the economic activities. Inflation is stable between 2.3 and 2.4. And then why are we not getting rate cuts? Powell says we are not getting rate cuts because of because of, look at me, I'm forgetting. We are not getting rate cuts because of tariffs. But I believe the labor data was an important factor in this case. And if we get bad NFP numbers, already ADP numbers was bad today, we are likely gonna get a bearish dollar. So I would have loved to get a move like that tomorrow, to look for this for to look for a resistance in that support area, to look for continuation to the downside on USDCHF. So going into NFP numbers, if there's volatility, into a retracement to the upside to hold this resistant area, to look for shorts again on USDJPY. I'll truly love that. USDJPY as well, same thing. I'll look for a break below in order to look for that continuation, or um, for tomorrow, whatever happens tomorrow, we might get the rejection and go to the downside. Even though I know my predictions are we are likely gonna get rate cut. I mean, we are likely gonna get lower numbers, and that might lead to rate cut. So the dollar is getting a beating for now. I think I've spoken about that. USD as well, same thing. It looks like we're about to break below this resistant area, and if we do break below this resistant area, I'm going to look for a breakout and a retest in this region to look for the continuation lower. So either way, I am bearish for the dollar. Yeah, the dollar is not looking good on its side. So and then the final thing that I'll speak about is It is the gold. It looks like gold after NFP tomorrow after NFP numbers. I will have totally missed my trade, and since I've missed my trade and gold is neutral now, something like this might happen and continue to the upside. It just missed my trade by a few pips because my entry was at 3,245 ounce. It didn't get to that area and then pushed to the upside. So unfortunately, I've missed that trade. So in that case, I am going to look for a break above this high or above it and look for a retest. And perhaps by that time, it will give me a bullish reading to look for an upside. So the good question is it time for Powell to cut rates? Are we finally getting the rate cuts? We are about to see what's going to happen. So anyway, thank you so much, guys, for those that are here and those that are watching my NFP number predictions. I love you all. Good luck for those that are trading the spikes. I'm not doing that, but in general, this is starting to determine where my direction. I'm moving into stocks right now. I'm going to start to buy more stocks. I'm going to start to buy more indices in an ETFs. So far, I'm holding a gold ETF. Let me see how is that going. It was on a massive drawdown just before we close this off. Just before we close this off. GLD, a bought in gold ETF. Let's see. How are we looking like? How are we looking like? New upload. This one. Let's see. So I've been on a very big drawdown. I entered. I've been on a very big drawdown. So I'm hoping that as this data is coming through, we're gonna push to the upside and get moves. So the good question is, and the biggest question that we are having right now, is it finally for Powell to cut rate? We're about to see that. Other than that, thank you so much, guys. I love you all. Do not forget to like and subscribe. And let's get to 100 subscribers. I'll truly appreciate it. I'll start giving you more content. Other than that, this was Le Ahor Trading Show. Have a great day. Love you all. Peace.